Why, hello YouTube, it's me 2121 Lego, or should I say Got a Gold, and I'm going to talk about my thoughts about Pokemon X and Y. Now, I think that X and Y looks okay, like, I can't judge it, the game didn't came out yet, but I'm going to talk about what I think about the game, and I'm going to talk about a lot of things. So the first one is the legendaries, and the first thing you may say, like, don't judge your game because, the legendaries and all that, and I'm going to say something that most people ignore. I think the legendaries are a pretty big thing in the Pokemon franchise because they're a mascot of each and every game. I mean, each and every game had its own legendary mascot besides Red and Blue. I mean, and Ruby and Sapphire had, sorry for the bad names, I'm gonna call Rayquaza, which is a legendary, Deoxys and all that. They're mascots, like, they're the first thing you see in the game, the menu screen and everything. And the same as with Gold and Silver, like Luigi and Ho-Ho. Yeah, I know, stupid name. But anyway, besides that, I think the legendaries in this game looks terrible. I mean, the mascots look terrible, and that's a big problem, because when you see the trailer, you see those characters, and they're the first characters you see in the game. I mean, they're on the menu screen for crying out loud, and they look pathetic. I mean, the first one is a deer, which is kind of new. We had around 5 deer Pokemon, but this one looks kind of stupid. I mean, it looks pretty useless, and the reason I think that is because each generation should bring a whole new, stronger Pokemon to the list. And I'm gonna give example. On Gold and Silver, we had Luigi and Ho-Ho. They were pretty powerful, and then came Ruby and Sapphire, and we got even more powerful Pokemon. Then came Emerald, and we got ourselves an even more powerful Pokemon. And then came Pearl and Diamond, and then we got ourselves gods, for crying out loud, gods. And then came Black and White, and like everything that I hate about Black and White, it killed it. I mean, the Pokemon, the legendary looked cool, but they were not gods. They were just yin and yang. That's all. They're not even gods. They were gods, but the god were not mascots, and they looked kind of stupid. And I think that's. And then we have this game, and this game mascots look terrible. I mean, we got ourselves another goddamn legendary flying type, and we got ourselves a deer one. And both of them look extremely stupid, especially the deer one, because the deer has like these no legs, and it makes it look pretty stupid. I'm gonna give you an example of badass looking Pokemons that are legendary. Generation 4, we got ourselves Palika. Then we have ourselves Generation 3, Jurgon, whatever you call him, and Rayquaza. And then we have ourselves Luigi and Ho-Ho. Now, regretting, Ho-Ho doesn't look anything good, but Luigi does. And this game, legendaries do look a bit good. I'm gonna give it that. Like, I think that dark bird thingy, I don't know how to describe it. Looks pretty cool, but I just don't know. But it looks kind of stupid for a mascot. Okay, now I'm gonna go to the starter Pokemon. I'm gonna admit it. Starter Pokemon are again a pretty big thing to the Pokemon franchise. They're the second Pokemons you ever see in a game. Like, you choose from them, and I'm gonna say this is. Mascots, like beginners Pokemon were only done in 2 generations. 1 and Generation 4. And I'm going to tell you why. Now, Generation 1, main Pokemons, kind of had that cute look, but they also had that threatening look. I mean, they didn't look too childish, and they didn't look too serious. I mean, yeah, Charmander may looked a bit retarded, but I mean, look at Bulbasaur, Squirtle. They looked cute, but they're not. They're not that cute. I mean, they're menacing, and they look cute and menacing. And up until that, and I mean even the second generation, had a terrible starter Pokemon. with their looks. I mean, we had ourselves this quiet looking fire thingy, and that's the way I had to describe most of the starter Pokemon up until Generation 4. Things. There were things, like a lizard thing, a stupid looking stuff. I don't know, it looks stupid. Then their evolution looks good, but evolution does not count because you see them later in the game. I mean, for starter Pokemons, they look pretty bad. Now, Generation 4 actually did a new thing, which I like. It took Generation 4, took cute thing combined with menacing. I mean, some Pokemon look childish, some Pokemon don't, but they are pretty good. Now, then came this generation. I think this generation has the worst starter Pokemons ever. Regardless of the stupid frog, and I cannot stand this frog. I mean, his head is so big. I mean, look at his picture. That's one big head, and it looks stupid. And then we have ourselves that fox thingy, which I don't care for. There's so many foxes in, the Pokemon series in itself. Eevee is one of them. And then we have ourselves that thing. I don't even know what to describe it like. It's coral combined with nature. That's all I have to say. And it looks stupid. It looks like something out of a kid's show. Now, regarding that, I think that some starter Pokemon, like the fox one, look kind of cool. But that's because the frog and the other ones look kind of bad. I think the starter Pokemon kind of look bad. Now, that's the thing that I can judge, because there's the thing I see. Now, the graphics themselves. Now, this is a thing I have problem with pretty much every game that includes every Pokemon game, and it is that Nintendo never actually practices their engine. That's a big problem, especially with each and every generation. Like, I think Nintendo should practice this engine. I mean, heck, Black and White 2 came before our year, and all of a sudden now they're making a new Pokemon game in 4D, and they didn't even test that engine. I think they should take another year to test that engine and then make it. Like, they don't know the hard limitation, they don't know anything about this new engine, and just use it. I mean, that was the problem with Ruby and Sapphire. I mean, like, the engine was new back then, and people were pretty pissed off because you couldn't do things that early games did. And because that, I think that they should fix the engine, maybe make it, maybe look at the engine, think about it. That's terrible. I mean, the graphics looks okay. I don't care for graphics, but I do care for the engine. And, I mean, heck, even Red and Blue had that problem. I mean, they didn't test enough of the engine, and I mean, look at the games, they're black and white, and some sprite look shitty as hell. And Gold and Silver had terrible graphics, and I'm sorry for all of you Gold and Silver friends out there, just because of the engine. And then Ruby and Sapphire, and then we came, and Crystal. I mean, like, the sister games are good examples. Like, the sister games of Pokemons are like the full version, and I think they're useless just because Nintendo or Game Freak needs to test the engine. What, they're gonna make X and Y, and then they're gonna make I don't know, W? Like, that's pretty stupid. No, my main problem with this game is that the names, like X and Y. I always think that if there should be a new Pokemon game, we should call it Pokemon Colors. Something resembling Colors, or something like Diamond or Pearl. And now we are going to letters, and that's confused the shit out of me. Like, come on. Like, that's pretty stupid. I don't know why they're calling it X and Y. Maybe it's because of the legendary names or something. But besides that, that's a pretty stupid name. I don't know why they call it like that. In fact, it doesn't even sound like something that resembles Pokemon. Now for good things about the game. I'm gonna say that I know a lot about the game, but I'm gonna tell you that it looks kind of good. I mean, it looks kind of good. I like that they returned some old Pokemon like Pikachu from the scenes, from what it seems. I sort of like they started Pokemon Evolution in this one, from what it looked like. I don't know if they're real or not, or maybe they're prototypes. Hell, I don't even have to judge this game. I don't even know if it's a prototype or not, but what I'm trying to say here is that Nintendo should practice more on this engine. It's like, this game is gonna bomb if they're not gonna practice their engine. I mean, even if they know how to use it, you should practice it. I mean, they can make this thing so much better if they take their time, and they're not taking their time. They are releasing it as fast as they can, and I don't like that idea one bit. And that's my problem with Black and White. Like, they released that so fast. And by the way, Generation 5 is over, and I don't know why. It's like 2 years, that's it? Like, come on. Generation 4 ended in 2008 and it started 2006. And you're telling me that Generation 5 had 2 years. I mean, 1 year and a half year. That's pretty lame and stupid. Now, besides that, the game, I don't know how to say it. From what I look at it, it looks kind of terrible, but I can't tell you it unless I play it. But that's my thoughts for now. 2121 Lego Dude, signing off.